again on our mat, foam rolling, foam roll perpendicular to your spine. You're going to have it starting just where your neck meets your shoulders and then rolling down into that last rib area. Cradling your head in your hands, elbows pointed towards the ceiling, and just loosening up. So I think today is one of those days where our session is really related to fit camp. I think the leg work today will feel good coming right off of the fit camp session that we just did. So it's going to be a little bit of a review from the hip and knee class. We're going to get into the quads. We're going to get into the adductors. We're going to get into the hamstrings a little bit. So focusing on the leg pretty much from the knee up today, which some of the things we're doing can translate into helping your back feel a little looser, but definitely I think things you'll feel are helpful given the leg work that we did in class today. So we're going to start, let me just show you, on the inner thigh. So you're going to be lying on top of your foam roller, and we're going to start with the right leg. You're going to have your leg out like this, kind of like a frog leg position. And the foam roller is going to be perpendicular to your inner thigh. And we're just going to be kind of rolling up and down like this. But let me just show you how that looks. Just a second here. Get this a little bit closer. So we're going to start, like I said, on the left side. So you want to lay it just down flat on your stomach and then take that left leg, bring that knee like you're trying to point it up towards your shoulder, out like a frog leg. And then you're going to stick that foam roller perpendicular to your inner thigh. So all you need to do here is just kind of like scoot your hips left to right. And that'll give you a couple inches up and down on that inner thigh area. And then you want to move the foam roller a little bit down, more towards your knee. And we're scooting back and forth. So this can be a sensitive area. So maybe you're not putting your whole body weight on it. If that's sensitive to you, you can actually, have that left foot in contact with the ground a little bit and kind of be pressing on the ground very gently to take some of that weight off of the foam roller if you need to. You're essentially just kind of scooting your hips left to right and then moving the foam roller up and down along the length of your inner thigh. So we're working to just above the knee, and then once you get to that point, moving back in towards the groin a little bit. And also, I wanted to just put this out there. Anytime we're doing some of these foam rolling moves or stretching or anything we're doing, and you're just not quite getting the position, or it doesn't feel like you think it should feel, honestly, feel free to pop on the screen and unmute yourself and say, hey, I just can't get this, or it doesn't feel like it should. And chances are it's just a little modification that needs to be made to make it work for you. Or maybe I just need to explain it in a way that makes more sense to you. So just put it out there. Always feel free to pop on, ask me a question. Let's switch sides. So now you're going to lie still on your stomach, but what you're going to do is frog leg for that right leg, kind of a frog leg out. Bring that knee up towards your right armpit, placing that foam roller perpendicular to your inner right thigh. And we are just rolling back and forth like this. So make sure your head is nice and relaxed and your shoulders are nice and relaxed. Shouldn't feel like you're really having to hold yourself up in this position. Should feel fairly relaxing. So like I said, with the other leg, concentrate in one area for a little bit, and then you can move the foam roller up or down, depending on where you are on your leg, to get that whole inner thigh. This is called your adductors, to get that whole adductor area that runs from your inner knee to your groin area. Okay, a few more seconds here. Just rocking those hips back and forth. All right, so now that we've got the inner thigh adductor stretch or massage, we're going to stretch it out as we do. So loosening up that area and then heading into it with a stretch. Gets more out of the stretch if you've loosened it up first. So take your stretching strap, whichever, or towel or whatever you have that you're using to stretch with today. And you're going to lie flat on your back and we'll start with the left leg. You're going to put your foot right into the middle of that strap. And you're going to hold on to that strap with your left hand. So you've got the strap on your left foot, holding on to both ends with your left hand. And what you're going to do is keep that leg as straight as you can, keep that left leg as straight as you can, and just let it fall to your left side until you have a comfortable stretch in that inner thigh area. And depending on how flexible you are, it may be just a few inches, or you may almost have your foot on the ground. So I know we all have different flexibilities, so whatever is working for you that you feel a stretch, let's just take a few breaths, deep breaths, and hang out here. Okay, good. Let's switch sides. So we're doing the same thing on the right leg. So put your right foot in the middle of that band. Both straps are going in your right hand. And you can keep your other leg bent or straight, whatever feels best to you. You're letting that right leg fall towards the ground. And I don't know if you can see, but my right elbow is on the ground. That is the most relaxed way to do this stretch. So instead of reaching up to the band, where you're pulling on it towards the foot, if you can relax your whole arm and shoulder by resting the elbow on the ground, that's going to help everything. The more relaxed every part of your body is, the more you're going to get out of stretching the particular area you're trying to work on. A couple more stretches here, a couple more breaths. Okay. I think you'll appreciate what we're doing next from the gorillas and the peacocks that we did not too long ago. So we're going to work on the quads. And specifically right now, we're going to work on where the quad muscle attaches right above the knee. And I just have a quick picture for you so you can see what I'm talking about here. So if you see this picture on the left, where I've got this big red circle. So that is, you can see all those quad muscles feeding into the knee there. And we're going to be working right above that. So you don't want to feel like you're on bone, but right up off the edge of the bone, like right working in that area is what we're going to focus on for the next thing. So you're going to be on your stomach and you'll have the foam roller perpendicular to your thigh just right above that knee cap area. So we're going to start on our left side. And what we're going to do is you can feel like on the kneecap, you can start there. You're not going to massage there, but you can start and then roll up off the kneecap so you can make sure that you have located that fleshy area there. And what I would like you to do, just the ever so slight bend in your knee, and then you're going to twist your leg left to right. So it's almost like you're using your bottom part of your leg as a windshield wiper, kind of going back and forth. So we're rolling back and forth over top of the foam roller. Gravity is providing the force here so that your quad attachments are being massaged against the foam roller like this. So this is something that can actually be helpful for knee pain. Sometimes, if your knee pain is muscular and musculoskeletal related, sometimes this loosening of what we're doing right now could be helpful. Yeah, so you're just pretending like your leg from the knee down is the windshield wiper, and you're just wiping left and right. And what that's doing is giving that quad attachment area a nice massage. We're going to switch gears here. We're going to keep the foam roller in the same area, but we're going to just bring the foot back all the way to the butt and straighten it out. All the way to the butt and straighten it out. And then, so right now, if you're doing this and your leg is straight, it's probably only getting one specific area of your quad attachment. So let's twist to get the outside of your knee. So you're going to twist your toes to the right. And now you can feel as you take your foot in towards your butt and extend your leg that you're getting more of the outside of that attachment area. And now let's twist again. So start with the leg just straight on top of the foam roller, and then take your toes, twist them out to the left. So in other words, towards being off the edge of the mat. So now you're kind of on the inner part of that knee attachment and still bringing the foot in towards your butt and extending it all the way out straight. Good. Okay. We're going to just do a little repeat of that on the right side. So let's get that foam roller right above your kneecap on your right side. And we're going to start like we did on the left side. So you're going to have a slight bend in your knee, and you're just going to kind of windshield wiper with your lower leg, twisting back and forth. So you're getting all the attachments that go into the knee from the outside of the knee all the way to the inside of the knee. Good. Don't forget to breathe. Have some deep breaths here, especially if it is sensitive for you or your tender areas. Make sure you're breathing through it. Okay, so now we're going to go. Leg is straight. You're not twisting the foot at all. You're just bringing your foot in towards the butt and straightening it out. Foot in towards your butt, straightening it out. And I always encourage you when we're doing these sessions, if we're working on a particular area and you discover something that really just feels necessary to you, you can just keep doing that. You know, even though I may be telling you to move up or down or to the left or right, but if something is really calling to you, hang out there and spend some time on it. Now we're going to straighten out the leg. And you're going to twist your toes to the left. So it's like you're trying to point to your left leg with your toes on your right foot. And then we're going to bend your foot towards your butt and straighten out again. So now what this is accessing is those attachments for your quad that are more on the outside of your knee. Okay, and now straighten out the leg again and twist the toes of your right foot away from your left leg. So now you're twisting them to the right towards the edge of the mat and bringing the heel in towards the butt and extending the leg again. So this is working the inside quad attachments of your quadriceps right into that knee. Good. Okay. Now just to cover everything, keep your knee bent at about 90 degrees and just one more time, back and forth, windshield wiper with the lower leg. So a lot of times when your quads get tight, it's at the attachment sites. So we're working above the knee because that's a common area for it to get tight. It gets tight in other areas, of course, as well, but try to go with what's most common here to help the most people. So this is good. We're going to stretch out our quads now. Grab your stretching straps. Two ways here to do this. I'm going to show you both so you can pick which one feels best to you. It's going to be two positions. You can either be on your stomach or you can be lying on your side. So I'll show you the stomach version first. You will again put that band and loop it halfway around your foot like this. And then you want to lay on your stomach and pull like this as you lay. If this position just feels awkward, you don't want to do something a little different for you, then you can do on your side and pull like this. So either way, the band is around your foot here or your ankle. Doesn't really matter as long as you can pull your heel in towards your butt with the strap. If you're doing it on your side, it's kind of easier to have that band wrapped up over your shoulder. If you're doing it on your stomach, you can pretty much have it in the same position there. Either way, we're hanging out here for a second and just doing some deep breathing as we feel the muscles of the quad start to relax. So even though you're holding onto the strap, try to relax the muscles of your shoulders and your neck. Just kind of melt yourself into the mat. Think about the rest of your body relaxing in addition to the quad muscle that we're working on now. Okay, so now we're going to switch sides. Other foot gets the band. And we're going to pull that right foot into your butt. And we're hanging out here. Still trying to relax the head and the shoulders. I do feel like the prone position where you're laying on your stomach is probably the most relaxing for your whole body in this, but I wanted to show the side lying in case that felt better for some of you. Other thing when you're doing this stretch, if you want to get intensify it a little bit, like right now we're doing our right leg, so you would squeeze the right glute muscle, and you can immediately feel that in the quad muscle, just a little bit more pulling, but not necessary, only if you're looking for a little edge there, a little more pull. All right, so let's hold out here for a few more seconds. We're going to, after this, transition into the back of the leg and work on the hamstring for the rest of the time we have together. And if anybody has any low back tension today, you might like the way this hamstring portion of our class helps that. Not always helpful, but a lot of times I've had clients who have really tight hamstrings, and once they can get that to relax, it really translates into some back relief. So that may be the case for some of you. Let's take a look at the hamstrings. I have a picture. It's our last picture for today. So you can see the hamstring is the picture with the hams on it, right? You see the lines of hams. So we are going to be working across and down the hamstring muscles in a stepwise manner along similar lines like that. So kind of you can see this first line starting right below the glutes. So that's where we'll start, and then we'll move down a couple inches and work in another line and move down a couple inches all the way. You want to stay away from this region, like right underneath your knee. That's kind of like not helpful, not kind of painful area. So we want to stay above that. But generally speaking, that's where we're going to be working. So it's going to be on our backs. And like I said, starting, if you can feel, place that foam roller actually under your left butt cheek to start. Because that's not where we're starting, but that's kind of just a nice reference point for us all to make sure we're working in the same area. So if you can see, like, it's under your left butt cheek, and then move it down, you feel a little bit of a bone, like the bone that you sit on. Move past that, a little down further towards your knee until you feel like you're kind of just in a fleshy area there. That is the beginning of your hamstring. That's where it attaches to your sit bone there. So that's where we're going to begin today. So we're all in this position. What to do now? We're going to do twisting with the foot. So you're pretending like your foot is a windshield wiper. You're taking your pinky of your left foot all the way as far as you can towards the edge of the mat, and then you're twisting your foot to the right, your big toes going down towards the mat. So we're just working back and forth here in this attachment area. This is a really common area for this hamstring muscle to get tight. All right, where it attaches to your ischial tuberosity or your sit bone. I've worked out a lot of tension in hamstrings before in this area. Okay, so now we're going to move along the line of hams, remember? So just down an inch or so, inch or two. And we're going to be doing the same twisting back and forth motion with the whole foot, where your big toe drops towards the mat and then your pinky toe drops towards the mat. Twisting left to right. Okay, and moving down another inch or two. And we're still going to be twisting back and forth with that foot the whole time. Okay, and down a little further if you can. Like I said, you do want to avoid the area that is directly behind your kneecap. That area has just not a lot of muscle that'll be helpful to work on, and it won't be very comfortable. So try to stay above that area behind your kneecap. So once you get down as far as you can on that hamstring, you can start to work your way back up towards your glutes. So just keep moving down a little inch by inch and twisting your foot from left to right. Okay. So now we're going to repeat on the right side. So again, as a landmark, you can kind of start on your glute, putting it underneath that right hip, and then rolling so you feel like you're on that sit bone, that bone that you sit on, and then kind of roll past that towards the knee. And then once you're as soon as you slide off of that bone, you are right on the hamstring attachments that we would like to start working on. So hang out there, keep that leg straight and twisting from left to right. Okay, move down an inch or so. Keep working your way down, like I said, until you've gotten to just above that knee area. All the while twisting your foot back and forth. Take some deep breaths, especially if it's feeling sensitive to you this morning. Okay, so now we're going to finish off with some hamstring stretching. So last stretch for today, grab your strap. We are going to hook it up like we did for the adductor stretch, so your foot goes right into the middle of that band. Only difference is how we're going to hold on to the band. So we'll start with your left leg up and equal length on either side of the foot for the band. You're going to hold onto the band with your elbows. This is important, elbows contacting the mat. And just hang out there in a position that feels like it's a good stretch for that left hamstring. Now, why do we have the elbows on the mat? Again, it's all about giving the rest of your body more relaxation so that the area we're trying to relax does better. Because if you're gripping the strap or the band or whatever you're using closer to the foot, then that just kind of makes you use your whole neck shoulder muscle area more. And resting your elbows on the ground gives you a chance to relax through the arms and the chest a little bit more. Deep breath here. Couple deep breaths. Okay, if you want to bend your other leg, if that feels better to you, or keep it straight. I don't really care what happens with the other leg as long as you are feeling a good stretch in that left leg. So keeping enough tension on that band and pulling it back far enough to get a good stretch. Okay, let's switch legs. The right leg goes into the band, the left leg is down. And you're pulling that right hamstring back. Right hamstring is being stretched as you take those deep breaths. Okay, all right, leg room is done. Good job today. Hope that feels a little less tight, a little looser in your legs. Thank you for joining me. Hope you have a good Monday and a good week.